A group of Queensland farmers have ramped up a campaign against plans to store carbon dioxide waste in the Great Artesian Basin. Advocacy group AgForce is challenging the government in court and launching a fundraiser to support its legal case. Joining us live now is AgForce Chief Executive Mike Guerin. Mike, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. How significant is this?
This is incredibly significant. The Great Artesian Basin is some 130,000 times the size of Sydney Harbour. It's a beautiful, pristine resource, a water resource that sits under 4 states and territories in Australia. It's huge. It's relied on by hundreds of regional and rural communities. And we're most of the way through a multi-year approvals process, which beggars belief, which would give a mining giant a chance to take waste from a coal-fired power station and pump it into that Great Artesian Basin, putting those communities' very livelihoods at risk.
How much waste, Mike?
They're talking about a pilot of several hundred tonnes of what's called liquefied CO2. So the exhaust that comes out of their coal-fired power station at Guerin, they would pressurise and liquefy and then pump into the Great Artesian Basin. Once it gets into that water, it expands again, but several hundred tonnes in the pilot. And what's really important to recognise is this so-called pilot is not reversible. So if that industrial waste, that emissions from that power station is proven to do what some modelling says it will do, for example, releasing arsenic into the waterways of the Great Artesian Basin, it's not reversible. And the very lifeblood of many communities in inland Australia is put at risk.
Yeah, okay. So what happens now? And the Queensland Premier, Stephen Miles, I suppose the ball's in his court now.
A little bit it is, but it's important to remember that this is a multi-year approvals process at which we're at the back end. There is an ability for the Federal Environment Minister to revoke the federal decision under what's called the EPBC Act. That Act, which is designed, among other things, to protect matters of national environmental significance, or MNES, is an act which we believe should have been used to decline the proposal in its early days. Indeed, on the 9th of February 2022, that decision was made. The Federal Minister has the power to revoke that decision. It's important that's done right now. And as you point out, the proposal is also under state consideration under what's called an environmental impact statement. Okay. We're calling on the federal government and the state government to immediately revoke the approval and take it back to consideration before the Great Artesian Basin, a pristine water resource 130,000 times the size of Sydney Harbour, is put at risk in a way that cannot be reversed.